we've had the biggest women's boxing event in history take place this weekend. So we're going to firstly recap Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor.
Yep.
Katie Taylor won by a split decision, quite a close fight. We've watched back the highlights as well. So we're going to give you our thoughts on that. So, Sam, what did you think of the fight?
I think for us, we enjoyed the Eddie Hearn, Jake Paul rivalry.
Yeah.
The gloves are off. You know what? You got to rate Eddie. He kind of says it as it is. And obviously Jake Paul just being Jake Paul. But I really enjoyed. I thought the fight lived up to the hype.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been a fight that never lived up to the fight. But for me, it was an absolute war. It was entertaining. And I feel like a lot of that was pushed from Serrano's side because she fights like a pit bull. That she comes forward and she hits hard. So fair play for Katie Taylor to sort of win the first few technically and then second win the last few technically, because that is a very hard opponent to deal with, someone who keeps coming forward with a lot of cardio and a lot of power. She got rocked a few times as well.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where I thought she was finished, man.
Yeah, round 5, but like it was kind of like power to me versus technique. That's kind of how it looked to me. But fair play to Taylor, being an older fighter as well, 35, kind of at the end of the career, still holding in there and getting the win. Big respect to both fighters. And like you said, I think you put on the Instagram channel, look forward to the rematch. What do you think?
Mate, massive. One thing that impressed me more than anything, I knew Katie Taylor had speed coming into the fight.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know about Amanda Serrano's walking forward style, but Katie's chin. She took some big hits in that round 5 where I thought, she's done, man. Like, I was just thinking, like, even if she comes out for the next round or whatever, she's not going to be, like, back to how she was. She lost the 5th round, then won the 6th round. It was kind of like back and forth. I think most people had it about 4 apiece heading into round 8. Yeah. And then, Katie's like had a second wind and stepped on it again, man. Rounds 9 to 10. Yeah. And at the end of that 10th round, there's that little video clip that's circulating.
Crazy.
They both just threw their kitchen sink at each other. They were there to entertain, and no one in that arena could say they were not thoroughly entertained at the end of that fight. It was an amazing show from both fighters. Yeah. And not even just women's boxing, it was just a good boxing match, full stop. That was it. But yeah, I know Jake Paul's come out and said, like, oh, Amanda Serrano won, blah, blah, blah. I think Katie Taylor did win. I think we've watched it back, and I had it 6-4 as well.
I think what it is Jake Paul saying that Serrano's landed more punches, but that's probably due to round 5 where she turned it on. But if you're going to look at a round by round basis,
that's it.
Yeah, round by round basis, Taylor won. If you can't always look at it total strikes, because you can have one good round and lose 4. So
exactly.
Yeah. But you know what? The rematch is going to, I'm probably going to stay up for the rematch, not going to lie. Or if it's, at a certain time in the UK, because that was such a good fight, and I didn't expect it to be that good, not knowing that much about Serrano. I think she was brilliant, and they had the £1 million bet, but did Eddie Hearn said just give it to charity or something like that? That's what I'm heard.
Basically, apparently promoters aren't allowed to bet on their own fighters or some shit like that.
Oh, okay.
So like apparently they've made some kind of other deal behind the scenes. So we'll wait and see what that is. But Jake Paul said that he could beat any fighter with under 10 fights that Matchroom has.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether Eddie's going to take him up on that offer. Maybe that's what the bet's going to come down to. But for Jake Paul's sake, I hope it isn't, because he's going to get fucking smashed, man.
But he did say that he's back in August, didn't he? Was it August 13th or something?
August 13th, he's returning.
Yeah. So
Eddie suggested a couple of opponents as well. I think Chev Clark. I don't know much about him, but I saw some clips and he looks like a fucking beast, man.
Yeah, Eddie's going to put him in there with someone.
And then you've got that David Enyika as well, who's part of like the Fury camp as well, and he's massive. Like, I just don't think Jake's going to take either of them anyway, but we'll see what happens with all of that.
I think Jake ain't going to have the when they match up in boxing, they ain't going to have that size advantage, is he? They're going to put him very equal weights.
Yeah. If he goes in with a cruiserweight actual boxer, he's going to get fucking battered, man.
Yeah. Is he a cruiserweight then? So he could step in there with like Bellew?
Yeah. Mate, there was a thing like Eddie Hearn that were talking about him potentially fighting Bellew.
Yeah.
Did you see that clip?
I didn't click on it, but I saw there was something about it.
Yeah, and Bellew basically said something like, if you come and try and confront me like these UFC fighters, I'm like, it's not going to end the same for you, blah blah blah. So we'll see. The last I heard from Tony Bellew, he's just trying to get home.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Yeah, to be fair though, he has been a lot less in. When he first retired, he was about everywhere. Now
Nah, he's still about, man. He's still about.
It's the same amount, you reckon?
Yeah, man. He's fucking always on IFL, man. For someone that's just trying to get home safe, he's on IFL bet.
You know what? I think I'd love to see that fight. You know, Jake Paul versus Bellew. I would love it.
Yeah, man. Bellew's in quite good shape as well now.
Yeah,
I think he did some little boot camp thing, and he looks fucking in good shape. So it could be an interesting fight, man. I don't know. We'll see, but I don't know. Does it do big numbers?
I'm not bigger
sure.
numbers than like people that you just said.
Yeah, obviously bigger numbers than them. They're obviously like 1-0 fucking fighters or like 3-0 fighters. But in terms of like a Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul, that's probably going to do more numbers, isn't it? Than Tony Bellew, because I don't think the American audience will buy into it that much. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, rematch coming up there.